Sports Chasers Podcast. Coming to you live and direct with your host and your moderator, Kevin L. Warren. This is a real sports podcast for real fans.
What's up, everybody? What's going on, everybody? It's another of the Sports Chasers Podcast. Who's beatboxing? Hold on. Okay.
Yeah.
We can hear you if that's you. It just totally checked me up.
Quiet. Go. Sit down.
Another edition of the Sports Chasers Podcast. Hey, greetings and salutations. Welcome, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well.
Go. What?
Make sure you like, click, and subscribe to the channel on the podcast side. Make sure you also give us that 5-star review. Make sure you also leave us a wonderful comment also on that note, man. So it's another Monday. This is the fourth and short segment, and thank you for tuning in. I hope everybody had a great and long weekend. Let's meet the crew. D-Dub, what's good? How are you, sir?
What's good, man? Yo, fantastic weekend. It was all that and then some. NFL's on deck. And yo, man, we got some things to get into, fourth and short, or long as you know what I'm saying. So we're gonna do it.
Gotcha. Okay, Dan, what's happening, man?
Oh, nothing. Great to be here. Good to see that Rudolph saved Christmas and the New Year. So I'm ready to get at this.
Gotcha. Can Eric hear us? He said,
"Yeah, I'm here. I'm having little technical difficulties here. What's going on, fellas?"
Gotcha. Man. We got the DA. DA, are you good? Looks like he's frozen.
What in the world is going on here?
Okay. The DA is not good. All right. He will meet us when he can, man. Hey, week 18 of the NFL started and ended last night. Before we started the show, we had a very good conversation about the New Orleans and Atlanta game. So before we all get into that, the playoff scenarios and all that stuff, we're going to talk about the New Orleans and Atlanta game at the very end, where Atlanta scored a touchdown, and there's this whole controversy of whether they should have been able to score the touchdown. D-Dub will. Well, Lou E, I'm sorry. Before I get into that, the angry one. What's up, man? How are you, sir? That'll be $5 for you. 5.
I got 5 on
it.
Now we got 10 on it.
10 on it.
Yeah, 10 on it.
All right, as E trying to figure that out, Junior, show us that play with the Atlanta and New Orleans, or what you got for us.
To DA, because the play was victory.
Bruce is back.
Okay.
The play was victory, but I also explained to DA that it was a team decision, and I think when you have a team morale, and I asked the guys, I say, guys, like, what do you want to do? We know how much Jamal means to this team, and I understood from DA's perspective, so I give him that. But DA didn't condone that at all. He didn't. However, we decided as a team to do it, and man, we got an interception to the 1-yard line. So if we would have scored, would it still would have been disrespectful?
So you see Jameis Winston there at a post-game interview stating the fact that they got the interception and they was right there and they wanted to give what's his name, I can't remember, the running back, the touchdown.
Williams,
the Rock, to score a touchdown, and he scored, and the New Orleans coach took offense to that, and Dan and DA was kind of going at it at the beginning. Dan, go ahead, give your thoughts.
I wouldn't say going at it. I just said we just had kind of a little, maybe a difference of opinion. But like, I saw this play, and I get it from both sides. Where I could see where Arthur Smith's pissed off that you signal that you're going to go into, the victory formation, taking the end the game, and then you hand it off and run it in. That to me is different in the sense than when it's late in the game and a team comes. Like the difference is that game's a blowout. They're up 30, 40 points, whatever. So another score doesn't really help them. But the other instances where teams have come up and fake spiked it, that's a normal formation. You're not signaling you're giving up. That's like waving the white flag. And then when the other guy pops his head up, you just go, take a shot at him. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're baiting them into it. But, there's another video with Winston and a reporter where they have a great debate. And it's like both of them are really strong in their opinion. But they're respectful to each other in a sense. I mean, it was like one of those awesome ones. Like, oh, what do you think? But, Winston's asking, what do you think? Well, what do you think? Kind of thing. But it was great. But, at the end of the day, that dude, Williams, he had 17 touchdowns last year. And because of injuries, they had to move him to fullback. And he had 0 this year. So they knew how much he meant to the team. So they wanted to get him in the end zone at least once. And that kind of was the perfect opportunity to do it from the 1 yard line. But my thing is if that's the case, then line up and run a play. Don't disguise it with a victory formation.
D, go ahead and give your thoughts, and we'll show the Dan Marino spike play.
It was a play. There is no formal agreement across the line of scrimmage where they say, hey, man, look, we're just going to do victory. We're going to kneel down, okay? Okay. Motherfucker, you on the football field. Excuse my French, Mama Warren. But I've played in games where people have gotten hurt on that play. You play it through till it's done. You play through the whistle. Actually play through the echo of the whistle. I understand they're pros and da-da-da-da. I got you. But what I will guarantee you is that there's a line of demarcation, even in the NFL, of when there was no such thing as a victory formation, and then the next week there was a victory formation. Because I'm sure this hasn't happened for the whole lifetime of a football game. Because yes, your boy Dirty D had been down scores in games. And I know it's a victory formation. In my mind, I'm saying I will jump the fuck over the center and clothesline this motherfucker with a cap in the center. That's what I'm thinking. But I don't do it because I don't do it. But don't think that's not what I'm thinking. Because it's a whole game of dudes going back and forth hard. It is hard to turn it off. It's just like if you ever got in a fight with somebody, like the next second, you're just not walking around and it's cool. It's a football game. You are amped until you're not amped anymore. So listen, my thing is stop them from scoring. And Atlanta would be like, y'all tried to get over on us, but we got you.
So to that point, the defense goes hard on victory formation, then they're the assholes.
Nope, not to me.
Yo, okay. But what about my man back in the day? He's the Ruckus coach, and I know we're going a little bit off. Remember he played? I want to say with Tampa. He was with the Tampa. Greg.
Yeah, I knew what you're talking about. Yeah,
there was some thoughts
Schiano.
about. Yeah, Greg Schiano. Yes. Junior, roll the Marino fake spike. Look at this, guys.
And one at the 18-yard line, and Marino completes inside the 10, has a first down. Ingram again.
45 seconds. Marino's acting like he's going to fake spike the ball.
This is totally
Boomer.
We are seeing another spectacular effort by Marino, who fires.
That was one of the best plays ever.
You know what the Jets were thinking? He's going to take the ball and throw it into the ground. They stopped. They all stopped. If you take a look at it, the offensive lineman, all they did was stand up. And Marino says the situation that they have. We saw fire on the 2-point conversion. Tell Marino from the back of his hand, hey, throw the ball to me. Now here's Ingram for his 4th touchdown. They just
Now,
we are saying one timeout. Get everybody on the line of scrimmage. Now he still has one timeout. They'll save that for the field goal if they have to.
So with that said,
it's the same
disagree.
premise.
I don't disagree with Dan. We and Dan are on the same spirit, but I'm just saying, letter of the law, spirit of the law. The intent was the same thing: to have the team think one thing and do another.
So what you're saying, it doesn't matter how much you're up or how much you're down or whatever the case may be. Is that what you're saying?
You better play.
Should play.
You ready to play? Okay.
I seen a dude. If you get an interception at the end of the game, right? Last play of the game, and dude's trying to run the interception back, right? And somebody sees the starting quarterback of the other team out there attempting like he's going to try to make a tackle. I'm guaranteeing you they're going to knock that MS helmet off his head with no time on the clock. That's what's going to happen. Because football is a game of I choose violence. And I will continue to choose violence until I'm in the locker room. Well, you know how I feel about the kids, JR.
We must move on. New Orleans winds up winning that game against.
Hey, next year there's gonna be beef, and I love it.
Well, hold on. Let's forget about next year. Atlanta. Let's not forget to mention that the Atlanta coach got fired. Not even Monday. What time was it, Kev? Because I got the text like
it was like 12:01 a.m.
That's Monday.
They had this shit packed in the locker room.
Yeah. So Atlanta's looking for a new coach. Hey.
Yeah, Atlanta's definitely looking for a new coach. So let us move on to the games that we were looking at here. Let's look at last night's game, Sunday night's game for the AFC East Division crown, and it goes to the Buffalo Bills. Well, we'll get into that in a little bit, as you say, the Buffalo Frauds. But the Buffalo Bills beat the the Miami Dolphins on yesterday. The score was 21-14. Josh Allen, he threw the ball. He threw
the ball, right? You're right.
Yeah, he 2 TDs. I did believe he had a fumble and 2 interceptions. But they was able in the fourth quarter. They had that punt return, and to me, I think in my opinion, they was able to contain Hill to somewhat. He had a touchdown, of course, but he was 7 of 82 yards, and pretty much the Dolphins were contained, and the Dolphins were still not able to beat a team over 500 this year. The Bills now will get the number 2 seed in AFC and get to host this Pittsburgh Steelers next matchup in the Wildcard. So, yep. So the Dolphins had the opportunity. If they won, they would have ran that game back against the Bills in the Wildcard. But yet they go to frigid Kansas City, where they said the temperature game time could be around 2 degrees this coming Sunday. So, yeah. I'll pass it on to D-Dub. Your thoughts on Miami and Buffalo?
First of all, my thoughts on Miami is that they are a disgrace because they let this Buffalo team out, come up out the grave and get up and stand up. As we was throwing third on them, but by what was it? Week
7. Yep.
They were
around that time. We was definitely. I'm myself pointing to myself saying, "Yo, Buffalo's done." They lost some crucial games down in the beginning, early on in the season, and it looked like they was not the team, and still may look like they're not the team, according to some. And Josh Allen, he keeps on throwing the ball to the wrong team, and the DA, we'll get the DA on his point, and he will definitely, let us know about how he feels about that. But Buffalo got in; they're number 2. they got to play. What's the Jeez, I just lost my train. Who they play next on this
Buffalo
weekend?
plays the Steelers.
Steelers.
Yeah,
They'll get past the Steelers. They'll get past the Steelers and beat them. But Josh Allen's not. He's not going to be able to sustain this. To keep on, Buffalo's not going to be able to sustain this if he keeps on throwing wrong team.
Yeah, he threw the ball 30 for 38 for 300.
30 or 38. That sounds good. That looks great. He catched the wrong team, and the wrong team's going to make him pay.
Okay.
Hey, we got Mikey on, so I'm gonna be real quick because I want Dan to get in this thing. I'm gonna say my stuff real quick. Yo, Allen throws the ball to the wrong team. He's still the number one rusher on the team. The Steelers do really hit hard, even if TJ Watt is not playing. They hit regardless. So if he's going to continue to run the ball, he at 67 yards last night. I don't think anybody else on the team even came close to it. It still may be a problem for them because he still throws the ball to the other team. And when Pittsburgh starts to take the air out of the ball and they let Warren and the other cat just run the ball over and over and over,
right,
it's going to be a problem. But then it's your team and I will be quiet.
Somebody pounding?
Yeah, somebody's pounding their
I was going to say, to me, Miami kind of had this game, the momentum, and that punt return, that was lights out. As soon as he scored that touchdown, it was just like they started to crumble. And I liken the Dolphins to the Eagles because both of them have just been terrible. Buffalo was 6-6 at one point. There was 5 games to go?
Yep.
And they ended up winning the division. Miami just kind of handed it to them, just like the Eagles were suspect most of the year. Squeaked by a bunch of teams. They weren't playing great football all year. But, they did start 10-1, but it was, to me, it was not a legit 10-1. There were some games that they should have lost. But that being said, Buffalo's won 5 in a row, so I'm a little bit, that's a hot team. Regardless if he throws it to the other team, somehow they still manage to get a W. But I'm looking forward to Sunday at 1:00.
Well, enough. Mike Mills, your thoughts on the Bills and the Dolphins, and also keep in mind that I like what Dan said about the Eagles and the Dolphins being pretty much the same team. Dan, I totally agree. They both were, kind of suspect. They're 10-1 starting out, and I just never believed in them. So, go ahead, Mike.
Well, Buffalo tried their hardest to give this game away early, back-to-back interceptions early, but Miami just didn't want to win. And I think that's the story of Miami most of the time. They see these good teams and they just fold. And it's like, of course, the good teams are gonna play you better. So of course it's gonna be contested, but it's like you gotta win one of those. Or even let it be close. The score was close, but this was sloppy. They let the big punt return touchdown, which was a gimme. Like, it looked like nobody even hustled on that play. Like, they just let them run it up the sideline. So, if Miami want to go deep in the playoffs, they're going to have to get it together because Buffalo was dead in the water. They started running the ball a little bit. They stopped letting Josh Allen do wild man stuff, but you saw he went back to being a wild man last night. So, Buffalo was hot at the right time, and they was one of the teams I didn't want to see in the playoffs because of the way they've been playing. So they might knock a team or two around. They might make the conference finals for real, the way they playing on the low. But Josh Allen is the kryptonite, so we'll see what it looks like.
Before E jump in, some might say that the Dolphins had 4 starters that were not playing, but I push back and say everybody around this time of year are hurt, and just suit up and just play. Go ahead, E.
I'm gonna just say this, man. Both of them teams look like they didn't want to win the AFC East until Buffalo got it going in the fourth quarter. Man, both these teams are suspect to me, one and done. I think the Steelers is going to beat Buffalo at what we feel like Buffalo should be doing is running the ball, play action. After that, play sound defense. Buffalo hasn't done that in about 2 to 3 years. So I'm going with Pittsburgh. But on this game, Miami got all that offense. Defense is suspect. Yeah, they are mirrored to the Eagles. The only difference is the Eagles last year lost both their offense and defensive coordinator, and the coach looked like he doesn't know what to do when he is being challenged to coach. It looks like he says, "Hey, give the ball to our best players and get out the way." This is football, not basketball. I'm done.
All right, we'll move on to the next game because I got everybody in there. D, I got you in there, right? D Dubs, correct? D Dub. Mike, you got $5 too coming to me. $5.
You hear me?
I can hear you now. We got you right.
Yeah,
I wasn't mute, man. I don't know why it's on.
He's just sleeping.
What happened to me? Kev got some fraud report stuff going on over there.
Let me go to the next game. The game doesn't mean nothing with relevance. The Jets traveled to New England, beat the Patriots 17-3. But the whole thing about that game is what's going to happen to Coach Bellechick. He's got 6 Super Bowls, 24 years with the franchise. He's undoubtedly, the best, the greatest that's ever done. Where does he land? I'll start off with the DA since.
He should take his old ass home. He's 71 years old. But
I was not expecting that.
But I think he sits out for a year. And I'll be real quick. He's used to having a specific type of situation with specific types of players. A good roster is never something that the Patriots ever had. So why people say, "Oh man, Washington has a good roster," or Atlanta has this, or this one has that, has to be the roster he wants it the way he wants it built. A good mix of veterans and older guys, a definite mix of guys that are willing to win and not get paid and play a specific type of football. And I just don't think that Belichick thing works anymore because the guys that he had with him, like I've been saying this for years, when they leave him, they aren't crap, which means he's doing it all. 71, he can't do it all anymore. That's it. So he may have to sit home for a minute, relax.
I think also he can't. If I'm the team bringing him in, I just want to build a coach. I can't have him doing personal moves because he has not. That stuff has not panned out the last 7-8 years. Correct?
Yeah, but when he coaches everything. This is why Matt Patricia went to Philly and doesn't know his ass from an elbow. This is why his assistants don't do shit.
We're gonna move on to
Wait.
Dan, D-Dub, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean that's a fact. I mean, Belichick is it's a fact what DA said, man. These guys go get jobs. Matt Patricia, what's the other kid? Josh McDaniels. He gets scared. He goes and he's he's not sure. Yeah, come back home, daddy. He doesn't know. He's not sure of himself. This DA's not wrong. He's not wrong. But yeah, what I think the best job out there, and hands down, is probably the LA Chargers. To me, that's the best job. Everything else is projects. Washington, project. Carolina, definitely a project. Atlanta, somewhat of a project also. The Raiders, please leave my man Antonio
That's right.
Pierce right where he's at. He's got the team. He got the pulse of the team. I think he needs to stay there. But interim coaches is it's one of them things. I don't know why owners don't like holding on to the interim coaches, but that's a whole nother story. But he can listen, if he wants to do it, he can do it. He doesn't have nothing else to prove. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, he got 6 Super Bowl rings. There's nothing else to prove. You can save all that. He did it with Tom, and Tom did it well. I don't think he cares less at this point. I don't think that's part of his, he has an ego, but I don't think that's a part of it, that part.
Gotcha. E, go ahead.
I agree with DA, man. I think his next move will be to that couch, and it's a wrap. I'm sure he could go somewhere and do whatever, but for him just to coach and not have that power, I don't think at his age, I don't think that he'll be able to flip that script. And if he can't do it all, then why do half-ass jobs? So I think he'll be at the house or doing commentary. He may surprise us and do some color commentary somewhere. But
wow, he doesn't even talk.
I think. I think.
Yeah, what is he going to say?
Commentary? What?
What is he going to say?
Okay. Maybe
I got you. We messing with you.
Sideline reporter.
Yeah. But I mean, everybody be waiting to hear what Bill got to say. So, man, it's a wrap. No. It's a wrap.
No. What you say?
Exactly.
We're on Cincinnati.
Dan, what you got for us on Bill Belichick?
Well, as far as I know, what I saw earlier is he's still under contract with them. They haven't decided one way or the other. To me, I think that they're going to probably sit down, and it's going to be like, all right, look, you're the coach, you got the football team. We need to get a GM in here, and let them do the personnel and pick tell you we're going to pick the players for you now, give you a break from that, so that you can coach every position on the field. But I'll say this about the man: like everybody wants to say, "Oh, Brady this, Brady that." This guy has probably been one of the greatest minds when it comes to defense. Like, you could see it. It doesn't matter. Every time in the playoffs, this guy comes up with a scheme to shut the other team down. We would probably have more Super Bowls if this clown didn't coach the Patriots, because there's many years that we had better records, better teams, and they would come in to Heinz Field. That's what it's called. And he would just take it down and basically shut down our offense with different schemes, covers, and whatever. Mm-hmm. And, if he doesn't want, the way that the Patriots want to do it, yeah, he's probably going to sit at home. And I agree with D-Dub. If he's going to go anywhere this year, he's going to go where they have a quarterback in Herbert, and he can fix the defense. He just needs to make sure the offense is on point, because Mac Jones and company and Zippy, that's just a cluster. And that's the way it will be next year again.
Gotcha. Mike Mills, what are your thoughts?
All right, so I feel like you got two strong choices: either stay here or just go home. Because I don't feel like he needs to go anywhere else, because it's not going to be replicated anywhere else. He's not going to do what he's used to, and he's not going to have the rope, even though he has the accolades, but they're not going to give him no long leash. It's going to be a year and a half. Listen, man, you're out. They're not finna wait with him. So they got a high draft pick. Maybe he see his quarterback in there. Maybe. But if not, then if it's time to call it a career, it's time. He's definitely in the Hall of Fame. So it's whatever. At this point, you just padding your stats. He need to go. I mean, if he's ready to go, he should go. Just like Popovich. Popovich need to go. But that's not this episode.
No, padding stats. D-Dub.
Yeah. No, I'm good.
Gotcha. Let's move along to Jacksonville. The Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans. According to the AP, Trevor Lawrence called his own number on 4th and goal at the one, stretching the ball out with his right arm that had him questionable for a game that the Jacksonville Jaguars had to win to reach the playoffs for a second straight season. Tennessee stopped them short with 7:13 left. With one final chance, Lawrence couldn't pick up his first down before turning the ball over on downs again with 1:47 left. The Tennessee Titans eliminated the Jacksonville Jaguars 28-20. I'll start off with me. There was very, very, very high hopes for Jacksonville. Like I said, they came off last year. They won last year, faced Kansas City, gave them a kind of a hard time in the playoffs, and so thought they were trying to build. And this is a very disappointing season, man. And I'm not saying it's a bust, but it's disappointing. I don't know if Trevor Lawrence has regressed or I don't know. Can Jacksonville bounce back from this kind of season? I'll start off with Mike Mills. Mills, what you think about the Jacksonville Jaguars and their season, and also with Tennessee's running back? It's probably his last game. He gave a little speech. Shout out to my main man, Derrick Henry. Go ahead, Mike.
Hold on, Cam. Mike, hold on. I'm doing Kanye West right now. Hold on. Yo, it's a failure, right, Cam? That's a failure. This is a failure, right?
Yes, it's a failure. Yes, it's
Mike Mill, go ahead.
I mean, they did fumble their lead, but I want to start. Thanks for distracting me. I want to start this by saying, going into this weekend, my team, our game didn't matter, right? So the two teams I hate the most going into
MVP.
this, the Steelers and them damn Bills. And the Steelers won, which I expected them to do, as they should have. Control your fate. And then I needed Jacksonville. Buffalo wouldn't get in because I thought the Dolphins would do their job. But them damn Bills, and them damn Dolphins, and then Jacksonville, like D-Dub alluded to, the failures. They had the lead in their division most of the year. You played Baltimore, you lost. Okay. And then I know Trevor Lawrence wasn't all the way healthy, but you still had the rest of your team. You still had your running back. You still got your defense. And their defense isn't no slouch. They got a deep defense. Mm-hmm. And then your coach, Peterson. Hello, Super Bowl guy.
Doug.
Make adjustments, Dougie. Come on, man. Come on. You've been here before. So, yeah, it's a failure. I mean, they still got time. Trevor Lawrence is still in his prime, They still got some pieces. So, next year, just don't collapse. I mean, shit. That's really all you can say.
Shout out to all that's watching on the YouTube side, the Facebook side, Twitter, X, not Instagram yet, but shout out to all those that's watching.
Twitter.
Yeah, I know, right? Shout out to all those. Gotcha. Well, Dan, what you got for us for Jacksonville?
All I can say is the curse is real. These clowns came into Pittsburgh and beat us 20-10. Who was number 45 for them? I believe he picked the football off, if I remember correctly, and run along the sidelines, thought he'd be cute, and grab a terrible towel from somebody and start swinging around and acting like an idiot. Guess what?
Dan kept receipts.
Yes, I did. Guess what? They went 3-6 after that point.
Black and yellow, black and yellow.
Yo, I did see that. I was like, wow. I was like, yo.
I was hoping I was going to get one more person to go in front of me because I was trying to pull up the meme to throw in my background. But anyway.
You still can. I'm pretty sure you will.
Hey, it's one of those things, man. The dude hasn't ever played hurt. Gets to the end of the season, hurts his shoulder, can't throw the football, sits a game, they lose that one, I believe. Then they come in here and a game they got to win. And I don't think he was probably completely healthy, but, shout out to the Titans. There's questions, the surprise. So, we got our teams that we kind of figure the coaches are going, and this is probably one of the maybe surprises. Maybe they let Vrabel go. We'll see. But, good for them to get that dub at home at the end. King Henry, his shout outs to the fans, it might be his last game there in Tennessee.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is, The
Gotcha.
curse is real.
Gotcha. DA, what you got for us, Tennessee and Jacksonville? Boy, his fines is adding up. Go ahead, put that QR code up in for so he can scan it.
I'm sorry, I hit the button. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead and scan
my phone broke. Dog ate it. They're not as good as we thought they were. Maybe we kind of moved them a little bit far afield regarding. I think it's like this is like year 3 in their thing. The rebuilding process. Remember, they got pulled back one by Urban Meyer. But I'm not really sure their whole injury thing. I just think we have to take it a little bit more seriously when the cat has a concussion and is out for a week. When he comes back and then he can't make simple plays, that means it may linger a little bit further. And there is no definitive medical timeline as to when you should be good now. You should be good now. Say so. It didn't look good, right? So this is something that we may have to revisit and probably will be revisited. But like the kid can play. But like Dorian said, as Junior said, he threw 2, passes over the dude's head in a row. Like with no pressure.
Yeah.
That means he's not seeing things the right way. So, and they got to commit a little bit more to the run as well because they got dudes there. So,
Etienne, yeah, you're right. I don't know how much. I got it right here. Etienne ran for 57 yards yesterday on 16 carries. So you're right. They didn't commit to the run as they probably should have. So,
yes. If you want to keep that kid upright, why not?
Yep, and keep the defense honest. D-Dub, what you got for us? Jacksonville. I know you've been complaining about them all day.
Yeah, man. They just didn't do. They didn't do what they had to do to secure, the spot. We thought they was up and coming on the rise, and they just was not it. They didn't do the things. They kept on losing, little stupid games that they should have won. They lost.
They are young,
and that is true. That is young, but after we seen what we seen in the last year in the playoffs, it gives us that false that false reality. We thinking that okay, you did that, and listen, you talking to a Giant fan. I said the same thing last year. We like, we wasn't expecting that last year. You won a playoff game, so you thinking that you going up, and they turned around and had a disappointing season. So hopefully next year will be something else different. The guys got to get healthy, and again, we say it all the time. This time of the year, everybody's hurt. So everybody's hurt. We don't really want to hear too much, excuses. Is it either you could play, lace them up, and get out there and do your thing, or you're not. But shout outs to Derrick Henry, man. He came back out, addressed the crowd. I'm assuming it seems like this is it for him. His last, either he's going to retire or it might be it for him in Tennessee. But he's been a hell of a back for the Tennessee Titans for quite some time. So I just wanted to give him a shout out to him.
Gotcha. Real quick, what are your thoughts on Jacksonville before we move on to the next game?
Real quick, Jacksonville. This is a learning lesson for them, man. Like everybody said, the trajectory was high, and they stumbled and they laid down. It's just that simple, man. So it's either they're going to get up and dust themselves off and get back to work, or they just going to lay down. I will say that the division has gotten a lot tighter. So when they come back next year, don't just think that you're going to be at the top of the hill, because you got Houston is here, you got Indy's on the way, and who knows if they figure out what to do at quarterback in Tennessee. You never know what's going to be with that team. So it's not going to be easy for them. So they got to get right. But
yeah.
And shout out to King Henry, man. Quite a career. A lot of highlights, a lot of bumps and bruises. So glad to see anybody that can walk away from this game with their head on right or whatever. Salute to you, man. So
you think real quick? You think he'll go to somewhere else? He's 30 years old. He's got a lot of miles on him.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that take a look at him. I mean, it's just up to him if he wants to play. Yeah, he'll definitely get another shot somewhere else, because more than likely he won't be the main guy. Don't do that, Mike. That's crazy. That's crazy. Either Baltimore or Philly, hell, San
Francisco. He's coming to the champs.
Big boys would love to have him. Short yardage situations, Philly. Now that they talking about, the banning of that, whatever that is that they do on fourth downs or whatever. Well, we'll get to Philly later because Philly got they fourth down, third down, second down, first down. They got a lot of shit to work on. But anyway, yeah, Kev. Yeah.
Let me move on. Let me move on real quick. Chicago, Green Bay gets into the playoffs. Shout out to this is what I'm talking about. Given the youngster quarterback, Love was able to sit behind Aaron Rodgers and able to do some things, and he's playing well, and he's played well in the second half. Mike, since you talking, go ahead. What you got?
Mid. He is the most confusing. Like, maybe my expectations was through the roof because like Aaron Rodgers sat and he came out like wildfire, like he was the man. And Jordan Love showed flashes of being the man, but they 9-8 for a reason. He is confusing, and they got a good defense. It ain't like he got a bad defense. He got a good defense. He got a good running back. Got tight ends. You got young receivers. You got, you know what I'm saying? Your O-line could always be better, of course, but he's confusing. You know, they won the game they were supposed to, so they in the playoffs. You know, they controlled their fate. Good job to them. But, I mean, they're going to push the Cowboys because the Cowboys is the Cowboys. Like, the Cowboys should beat the mess out there. Going to the Cowboys. So, shout out to Green Bay. Jordan Love, you know, see what you do in the playoffs, but okay to me. Mid.
Gotcha. DA, your thought on the Packers and them entering the playoffs, a wild card against the Cowboys.
I'll make it real quick. I think they deserve to be there. I think Jordan Love is going to be good. It's going to take him a little bit more time. They got good running attack, good offensive line, good defense. I actually think they can beat Dallas for a few reasons, but because Dallas can't play zone against them because they run the ball too well.
You know,
I know, but Dallas can't play zone against them, and they sure enough can't guard up man to man. So they have to pick their poison because the play action for the Green Bay Packers is real because they run the ball and they get 100-something yards a game.
100%.
So, you know, we got to see. And what we've seen this year is teams that go hard at Dallas, running the ball, beat them. That's it.
E, what you got for us?
I have to agree with DA. I don't know if they're going to beat Dallas, but I think this should be a good game. And for what you said at the start, Kev, I think, it depends on the time and the place that these guys get drafted. I mean, young guy, he gets to sit behind a veteran quarterback. Yeah, that's the prototypical way of doing things. That's the traditional way of doing things. But look at C.J. Stroud. So I mean, it is what it is, man. I would prefer that my quarterback sit, but anyway. The Packers. It was the Bears, man. That's all I'm gonna say. If that was Detroit, they would have lost. If that was Minnesota, they probably would have lost that game, man. I mean, they didn't do anything great to win that game. It was Chicago. So, yeah, they did what they had to do to get there. Salute to them, but I don't see Green Bay, not this year. They're like the Jaguars and all these other young teams. They got to figure it out. And, they'll get there as long as they keep that team intact. They'll be all right. I don't see them beating Dallas, though.
D-Dub?
Yeah, I agree. Mike Millie said the best mid, man. He's mid. You know what I'm saying? He's all right. You know, he's mid. He all right. What's up, DA?
He only been there 3-4 years. I'm not expecting to be freaking Aaron Rodgers. You know,
or Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
He's
not Lawrence either.
Yeah. So you know, it's okay. He's okay.
Yeah, he all right.
Yeah, but he ain't. Again, he's not going.
That's what we said. Mid.
He mid. That's it. He the Green
trash,
play,
but mid.
We ain't say none of that. I'm just saying that he's not going to be enough to beat. You know, he's good. They good. The receivers. You know, they got a year underneath their belt, so you know they'll be fine. They'll be fine, but they're not beating the Cowboys. Cowboys should go ahead and take care of business at home and do their thing because again, they'll work from home team. They'll do their job at home and work from home well.
Thanks.
those that missed the episode a couple weeks ago, D-Dub called the Cowboys they work from home team. Dan, your thoughts real quick on Green Bay, and then we got to move on.
Just real quick, all this talk about him being mid. I remember a certain Dirty Bird team that won a Super Bowl with a below mid quarterback.
Oh,
you talking about who? You talking about with the
your
first
boy
one?
Dilfer. Your boy Dilfer.
All right, I give you that.
Yeah, but they ain't have that defense though.
That's the difference. But that's a work in progress for them. As long as he takes care of the football and they get the defense right, that division, all you got to worry about is the Lions now. Because, without Aaron Rodgers, they still own Chicago. It's the same old. But, he played well. 27 of 32, 316, 2 TDs, no interceptions. Huge. Aaron Jones, 22 for 111. That's going to be the question mark when it comes to them playing Dallas in the playoffs. Because we all know how Dallas goes in the playoffs. If Aaron Jones can get off and he takes care of the football, they can beat Dallas.
Gotcha.
The real question is where's Justin Fields going? Because he already said his goodbyes.
Did he grab the microphone yesterday?
He did. I think he said goodbyes in the post game.
I don't know where he goes. That's a whole nother story. What Chicago historically does not do well with quarterbacks. If you look down the line, they don't. It is what it is. So 7-3. Michigan up against Washington with 3:33 left in the first quarter. We're going to get out of here. So the rest of y'all, because some people have dipped already, as we can see. Dallas versus Washington. The game was kind of nil in front, and it was kind of nil to nothing. Dallas, they pounded on the Redskins. The Commanders. Some of the aftermath. Coach Rivera was fired by the Commanders. So we'll see what the Commanders will do with the new regime there, what they will do as far as hiring somebody to replace Coach Rivera. Dallas, in the meantime, the running back killer, Mike McCarthy, as Mike Mills also affectionately has, he's gotten away with it. I think it's going to catch up to him if he don't run the ball. So they won 38. They won the NFC East real quick. I'll give it to Mike Mills. Your thoughts on Dallas and what they will do next week against the Packers?
Like D-Dub just said, the Dallas should walk through Green Bay. But we know Dallas. So it's going to be closer than it should be. But they're going to win. It's going to be like 24-21. But Dallas got a good defense. They just got to get from in front of themselves. Dak with the silly interceptions when it you know what I'm saying, at the end of the game, not running the ball, Mike McCarthy, just the silly stuff. And they'll win because they get turnovers. They pressure the quarterback. They do some good things. But this was a game they were supposed to win, and they did. And Philly gave them the division. So Dallas, take advantage. If you're going to win a Super Bowl, this is the window. It's open.
Gotcha. E, what you got for this?
Nothing. Dallas did exactly what they were supposed to do. They helped the 5 men in the trailer help pack Rivera and all of them guys up. And Washington is a mess. That's all I got, man. I mean, it's Washington, B. I mean, that's Dallas' second home. So that's their they couldn't get home, so they stopped at the local Motel 6. That's Washington, because that's like another home game for them.
Thanks, E. D-Dub, what you got real quick?
Yeah, I'm like E. I ain't got nothing for you. Dallas did what Dallas was supposed to do. They smacked Washington in the mouth, and Washington is a bad team. Period. End of story. Washington. Ron Rivera. It was about time. I think he wore out. And not he wore out his welcome. It's more that it's just time. This time, I think he's still a great coach. He'll find a way. He either might take a year off or come back or find. Please just don't go to Carolina and mess. Please don't go to Carolina and don't take no trash jobs. I don't think he has to work his way up. I don't think he has to work his way up to get a better. Just no. I know he's not going to the Chargers, but maybe just take some time off. reevaluate. Just don't take the first job. But Washington got a lot of things to take care of. I don't know. I heard the rumors of Bill Belichick. I'm like, please stop. I'm not believing that. So that's all I got for that one, Kev. But I hope the real game we talk about comes up next. You're gonna segue into that.
What, Pittsburgh and Baltimore?
Oh no, not that one.
Which game was you talking about?
Oh, I was talking about them Eagles, them nasty, disgusting birds.
They wasn't on the. We can talk about that real quick.
Yeah.
I have to go here quick.
I know.
The Eagles got trounced by my Giants yesterday. It was 24-0 before you know it. And
it's not about the Giants though. But go ahead.
It's definitely not about the Giants because this game didn't really mean anything to the Giants. But Mike, I pushed back with that. The game was definitely about the Eagles and how the Eagles have took this swoon. They have definitely took this swoon in the second half of the season. And I don't know how they come back for this. So who do they play? They face Tampa. I think Tampa's going to get them this weekend in Tampa. Well, DA, go ahead, DA. Go ahead, DA.
No, that's not going to happen. That's not. It's Baker Mayfield.
You calling Sports Chasers a hot take?
Yeah,
what do you?
Yeah, that's wow. Yeah, like that team is not that good. That team is not that good, right? So that's not going to happen, right? Even though, we could pray on it and do everything else, that's not going to happen. They're not. You can pray on it.
Did you say pray on it, brother?
Yeah, y'all can do that. They're not that good.
D said you can pray on it.
And I like Baker Mayfield. I like what they've done. I like the team. I don't see. What's going to happen is, and I'm going to be quiet, is they're going to simplify everything and take everything back to last year. They're going to go back to whatever the hell was, because the two coordinators is the reason why they aren't any good this year. Same team, actually better players, better roster. Now in the back end, they're playing like trash. And I think from a running back position, they should probably be about equal. The defensive line is better. Linebackers are better. Secondary sucks. But the reality is, you put Matt Patricia back there as a D coordinator. I'm not sure what you're expecting to happen. Wait. The dude, he was like 1-40 with Detroit. Like, what are we doing here, folks? Why do we think that that's going to change anything? They're going to take everything out, and they're going to do, hey, look, man, everybody get the homework from last year. That's what we're doing until somebody beats us.
What D? They did have all their plays in last night in that game versus the Giants. So there's nobody that was, I think, except when Hurts got hurt.
No, what I'm saying is the system is not good. The new coordinators put in some shit that doesn't work for that team. That's all.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I still pick the Bucks too.
I pick the Bucks. Yeah.
I feel like
you call me the Bucks. Go ahead, Mike.
I feel like the Eagles are good enough to beat the Bucks anyway, right?
Okay.
Because like all season, the beginning of the season, when they was winning games, they still look bad. Philly never looked good all year, right? Even when they was winning games, they looked bad. So like either they wake up this week and beat the hell out of the Buccaneers and keep winning, or they limp through this game and then get their ass whooped next round. But it's coming. They're gonna have to wake up. I just want to know why the Giants decided to sink that draft pick. Like, what did you win that game for? That's my only thing about
I mean, we talked about that. These guys, they got to play. They playing,
bro. You wasted that pick, bro.
Yeah, we got six. We got six. The sixth draft pick. Hopefully, you get one of them quarterbacks. Maybe, you know what I'm saying.
Lineman. You stuck with Danny at least one more year. You got a good lineup.
That's another show. That's definitely another show. Michigan is running all over the Huskies. Thanks, Mike.
I'm just peeking over there, and I'm like, what in the world is going on? I said, boy, oh boy, if we get another TCU
tonight.
night.
Should have let Florida State in.
Yeah.
What about Michigan quarterback? Mid.
Boy, that's gonna be an argument for next week. I tell you that. If Washington gets blown out here, my God, Jesus, help us.
But they got what they wanted. The NCAA wanted the Pac-10 to represent for their last year, and they are representing with a foot in their ass.
Whoa. Let's make. Okay, let's go on to the Steelers in Baltimore. I'll lead up with Dan. Dan, your thoughts? Y'all got to the playoffs. I shouldn't say sneaked in the playoffs, but y'all got in the playoffs. Y'all had some turmoil during the middle of the season with your offensive coordinator. Tomlin kind of righted the ship. Your thoughts? What are your thoughts on Mike Tomlin, his coaching style, and his impact on the team's consistent success? He still has not had a losing season. I'll get this to Dan. We'll give it to the rest of the crew before we get out of here.
That's awesome, but it's also annoying. Like, okay, so we're average every year. Congratulations. You know what I'm saying? You got to put something behind that, and I just want to know, like, if we would have played Mason earlier in the year instead of Mitch, where would we be? We'd probably be sitting where Cleveland is sitting or better. And it was funny because we got our Panther fans at work and all that crap. And they talking all kind of mad shit. We ain't going to win, blah, blah, blah. And I told them, I said, look, we're going to win this game. How far we go after that, I don't know. I said, but we're going to definitely beat Baltimore. I mean, it's been what? We've won the last 11 out of 15. So regardless of who's playing, whatever, for whatever reason, we've been having their number. And with them not playing a bunch of people, you had to figure that was going to help. But wow, that was a monsoon of a game. And luckily, the new OCs have figured out how to get people to run the football. Because, Najee and Jalen have been going nuts, these last 4 games. And I think with Buffalo next coming up Sunday, that's going to be the key. If we can run the football against them and keep Allen off the field and let him make his mistakes and then, capitalize on them, we can beat them. But do I have any expectations as far as how far we're going to go? Hell no. I didn't think we were going to get in because, I just figured they would keep playing Mitch.
And Buffalo doesn't have an defensive line. They got Ed Oliver, who's pretty good, and what's buddy from Colorado, from Denver. He doesn't tackle running backs. He only goes after quarterbacks. Vaughn Miller. He doesn't really do the quarterback thing.
Vaughn's kind of like
the running back thing.
on a part-time program right now. So
yeah.
D-Dub, your thoughts real quick. Well, no, I won't get D-Dub. Before we get out, Mike Mills, your thoughts on the Steelers. Well, I think you gave your thoughts before, but go ahead. Your thoughts on
the game didn't matter. Baltimore ain't really need that game. I just hate that it had to be the damn Steelers. They clawed they went into the playoffs. And like Dan said, they can't beat Buffalo because they do all the things that Buffalo are weak against. So we'll see next week. Hopefully TJ Watt playing because he did go down. So hopefully he come back and to make it interesting.
He ain't going to be playing.
Yeah.
Second degree MCL sprain.
Yeah.
He's going to need
Curtis.
probably
see y'all next season.
3 or 4 weeks. Hey, Herberg's going to come in and take his place. Fellow Wisconsin boy. We'll see what happens.
If you hit him with that Toradol, that'd be good for half of the game.
Listen, we're going to go on that note since DA is giving out other medical advice.
I've been there. I know it works.
Listen, it's 14-3. Michigan is beating Washington. We will absolutely cover that game on Thursday. Hopefully, it will be a good game. Thanks for all those that are watching on the sound of my voice, man. This is the Sports Chasers podcast, man. Make sure you tune in. Make sure, before I say that, make sure you like, click, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure on the podcasting side, you give us that 5-star review. Also, hit us up with some great comments. It kind of does something for the algorithm. And look out for some new things for us in the new year. You probably noticed that there's some new logos in the background. Maybe you can see D-Dubs right there. Yes, that's there. New logos, new affiliate links for you to purchase merchandise. All that stuff will be here very shortly. I promise you. I know I've been saying it, but I really, really, really do. It ain't me. I promise you it will be up there. So listen, on behalf of myself and the crew. Oh, go ahead, DA.
Yo, for next year is going to be the most interesting year of college football. There are levels to this shit. So when cats getting these new conferences and they're getting run out the fucking stadium, then we'll see. But that is what's going to happen.
What's that next show segment? Get it off your chest.
It will be all. Yeah, it's going to be all.
In a couple of weeks.
Yeah, get it off your chest. I believe But real quick, Mike Bristol, your team is who? Professional? I think Mike follows the Giants. Mike is Mike is a Giants fan, correct, D?
Yeah.
That's good.
He's just a Florida liver.
It just makes
Just
sense.
lives there.
There's hatred of Pittsburgh. I get it.
Yeah.
I ain't got no hate for Pittsburgh.
I didn't say you.
Oh,
Yeah, he talking about the double reverse.
Okay. That makes a whole lot more sense.
Yeah,
on behalf of myself, I'm Kevin Owan, your host and moderator for Daryl D-Dubs Warren, for Dan, the hockey dude, for Eric.
he ate the G, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
who won the football pool?
Nobody won the football pool. It was tied, and there's going to be a playoff with that. There's a playoff, so we will set up the playoff as we speak. I believe me and D-Dubs was tied for first. Dan was right there.
Second. 171. We 171. Me and you are 171. Dan is 170.
And the rest of the guys were lingering behind because they missed a couple weeks or whatever. But there is a playoff, so everybody will have new life again, and then we'll go from there. But yes, that's how things wore down yesterday. So me and D-Dub was in first, but we'll see how we can do in the playoffs. So I'm going to try this again. If anybody else has anything. Nope, right? Okay, great. On behalf of myself, I'm Kevin Owan, your host and moderator, for Daryl D-Dub Warren, for Dan, the hockey dude, for James Eric, the angry one, for DA, and for Mike Mills, and also for my super producer, JR. This is a Sports Chasers podcast. Y'all be good, be blessed. Hey, we'll see y'all Thursday as we recap the Michigan and Washington game. Hopefully it's a good game. Y'all be good. Peace.